Okay, guys, so I'm gonna activate Illustrator, File, New. Gonna make my artboard 8.5 by 11 landscape. Press OK. Beautiful. All right, so first step I would do is bring in your sketch. So I'm gonna go File, and I'm gonna Place. And I have a TIFF sketch here. Okay. It's going to ask me for what page. This PDF has two, the footwear sketch and the thumbnails. I'm going to work on the logo first. Okay. Now, Tiff, what logo am I working on here? This one here? This one or this one? Bigger one? Okay. Cool. So I have this bitmap image here, and I'm going to use my shortcuts. I'm using spacebar, Command, and Alt Option. I'm going to hold. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to just mask it. So I'm going to click Mask. It's going to hide the other logos. So I can just focus on this one. Okay. If you ever need to unmask it, go to Object, click Mask, and release the contents. Okay, I'm going to press Command Z and go back a step. So I have my sketch here. I'm going to call this Sketch, and add another layer. Lock the first one because I don't want to touch it. Essentially, it's like a tracing paper. So I'll zoom in here. Now, there's the artwork. Now, this is an interesting logo. I'm going to press Command R to get my rulers. Essentially, it's a symmetrical design. Right, Tiff? Is this symmetrical? Yeah. So meaning the left side is equally weighted to the right side. So I'm just going to go into my ruler and notice with my mouse, I click and drag on the ruler and I'll bring a guideline out. And I'm going to put this based on the tip right here. Now, her sketch is not perfect. We're going to make it better by using this guideline. So essentially what I'm going to do here, guys, is design one side, flip it and copy it, and merge it together. Okay? So, these elements of the circle, I'll probably grab the circle tool. I'm going to click and drag and make a circle. And I'm going to roughly put it in. I'm using the center. Right now it has no stroke or no fill. I'll just give it a stroke color for visual effect. Now here's a little cool trick. I'm going to press Command C to copy, then Command F to place it right in front of it. So technically there's two of them. I lie. Let me try that again. Control C, Control F. There's two of them. So what I'm going to do with that main one is hold Shift and Alt, and I'll keep the same center point, and voila. So these two circles are in front of each other. Now to prove that, I'm also going to go to another tool called Align tool, and this will be helpful to making sure, say to selection, that these two shapes are center and center. So if I click the horizontal center and the vertical center, I know these two shapes are center of each other. Okay. Now the rest of these tools are probably the rest of these shapes I'll probably use the pen tool. So I'll start here, click, hold Shift and make a straight line. Create a nice looking arc. And this is where you can make changes to your artwork. Okay? Hold Alt, refresh that point. Okay. There. Click and drag there. Now I'm going to stop doing that one. The arrow I'm going to do another way. I'm going to just pretend that I'll do the arrow afterwards. Create a nice arc. Oops. Something like that. Alt Option to refresh point, and I'll stop right there. And I'll go straight up. Sorry, I didn't press Shift on that. I want that straight. There you go. And I'll explain this afterwards when I trim it. The arrow, if you go to star, if you click on star and you say you want a three-pointed shape, essentially you get a triangle. Okay? So I'll shrink this down, holding shift, rotate it to roughly what you feel needs to be rotated. And there, you got a nice perfect triangle going on that. And what I'll do afterwards is, essentially this is a filled shape. With my Pathfinder tool, if you can't find Pathfinder, go to Window, Pathfinder, and it's there. Right now it's check mark, so it's obvious it's there. I'm going to make this triangle slightly bigger. Okay, and then I will tell the computer to weld these. And now what it's doing right now is there's intersecting lines. If I weld it, those two shapes become one. Okay. Same with the circle. I'm going to make this purple, sorry, pinkish, and then make this color blue just for visual effect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a donut. We're going to get this circle to trim out that circle. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to say minus the front. So the front shape being the blue circle. Okay, actually I have two circles there. So, oh, three. So what I did, it created a donut effect where it knocked out the center. And then what I can do afterwards is click that shape, hold shift on, select the other shape, and tell them to weld. And then these shapes will become one. Oops. Maybe I'll bring that down and weld those shapes. Okay. Well, actually, in retrospect, I apologize. I shouldn't have done that. I should have right-clicked, transform, reflected this shape, and this allows you to mirror the image. Okay. I don't need that. I just need this part here. So essentially, you have, oops, two symmetrical parts. Now that's the proper way of doing a symmetrical logo, is using that ruler guideline. I'm just going to zoom in on here just to make sure that these points are intersecting properly. Shift, and then weld them, and they become one shape. And then I can include the other portion, and voila, I got a nice solid logo. So that's how you create a symmetrical logo, guys.